the Spence and Crawford fight, but like I don't know about you, but I've been like going back and forth,
Yeah,
back and forth. I mean, what? Remind me now. Who did you have winning?
I got Bud winning 7th round stoppage.
That's right, stoppage.
Yeah,
And what exactly makes you? What about Bud or about Errol makes you think that?
it's just that I think they both great fighters. Nothing to take away from Errol Spence. I think they both great fighters. I think Errol Spence is a very dominant force. You know what I mean in the game at his weight class. But I just think, you know what I mean, we've never seen him really cracked upside his head against somebody who's going to try their best to really get him out of there and not respect him to the point where they're going to let him beat on him. You know what I'm saying? I think Earl. I think Earl Spence is going to win the first 4 rounds, 3, 4 rounds, but then Terence Crawford going to have to kick it up. But when he kick it up, I just see him hurting him. I don't know why. I could be dead wrong. I mean, but once I pick somebody, I pick them, and that's what I see, and I just got to stand on it. That's all. Win, lose, or draw.
Yeah, man. It's like I first wish I shared your opinion, about Bud. I gave Bud, but for me, I don't know. I don't think anybody's getting stopped in this fight. I don't see that.
Yeah.
But then as I'm looking at Errol and I'm watching, sparring clips and stuff, 'cause I never really looked at him that deep. I just kind of, it's like, and the size difference that's apparently there, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even, have you met them in person?
I've seen Bud in person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So like, it's so hard to tell. Like, when was the last time a fight has been this even that you could think of? Like a mega fight has been this even.
Yeah. It's been a while for sure.
Like, what do you think it is? What?
I mean, we dealing with two great fighters. Even though Bud is a little older, he's not so much older. It's not like by 10 years or some shit. It's only by like 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And they both have been making easy work out of the competition. So it's like to see them against each other, that's kind of all we've been, you know what I mean, really looking to see.
Yeah. They have that's exactly right. They have made easy work. And then looking at the opponents in common is kind of tricky because there's so many. Like I don't really look at opponents in common that much. Do you?
The reason I don't is because really it's going to come down to that night. But sometimes you can, sometimes you don't. It don't matter. I think this is a fight where it don't matter because we talking about two confident fighters, two fighters who have reached that world class level, and they know that they are the best, and they're gonna prove to us why. You know what I mean? So I don't know. The competition level, it don't matter to me because we dealing with two experienced men. It's not like Ryan Garcia and Tank. Ryan Garcia's record was like you could tell he was built up.
Yeah,
And then Tank Jones was like he built up, but it was some tests on there too. And I mean it was some test fights for sure. So you know what I mean? It's not like that.
No. This is the one thing that I struggle with is like who hits harder. Like, okay, so the majority of people right off the jump will say, well, Errol hits harder, but does he?
Right.
Does he?
Right. I don't know. Because and people always say, well, Bud didn't fight nobody. That's easy to say when you ain't in there.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah.
And the thing is, right, 47 is not his original weight class. So he's doing major damage at a weight class that's not really his. I think what it is he filled out pretty good at 47 because, he was young, making 30, 35 and shit like that. And as he got older, he filled out into the weight, which is how you're supposed to really handle your career. You know what I mean? But the way he been finishing guys, you know what I mean? You just haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah, like you just said, at 47, I mean, this is a known stat, but he's knocked everybody out, right, at 47. The Porter thing to me was pretty gangster because if you remember, I thought he was losing or it was close, and then somebody told him in his corner, like, yo, somebody told him you're down.
Yeah.
And then he literally went out and just took care of business, like right there and then.
Yeah.
And
that's what make him dangerous.
Say again?
That's what makes him dangerous.
I mean, he is, man. And then there's so many different things to look at, and it's so hard to like the defense is similar. The offense is similar. They're not similar to each other, but they're at the similar levels
Yeah.
of each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The opposition. The only thing I look at is, Bud does have a relatively decent experience edge on him, right?
Yeah.
10 more fights, something like
Yeah.
that. 11 more fights, right? Bud has more knockouts than Errol has total fights.
Yeah.
Just kind of a crazy stat.
Yeah.
You think
I think. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I was just saying, I think that's why this is an interesting fight, because a lot of people is picking Errol, and I ain't mad at that, but it's like, it's so many, like, you know what I mean?
You know what I'm noticing? I'm noticing more fighters, former fighters like myself, current, trainers like you, fighters like you, more people that did it are picking Bud, but more people who are fans are picking Spence.
Yeah. I mean, Spence, if you want to be honest, he's the safer bet because of his style and because, he break guys up. He do. But Spence is like the guy that been through everything. So I think that's why more trainers are picking Bud. I think more trainers and guys inside the game are picking Bud because we see him in so many different situations. You know what I mean? Spence has been in some situations, but you know what I mean, for the most part, it's him beating on somebody. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, man. And to me, the will, like, I don't think people understand. You could help explain this, how much your will and your mental plays a role in that ring.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, you really don't have to explain it because think about it. The average person don't even want to get in a fight. And then if they do, they get hit hard enough, they'll quit. You know what I mean? Or they get hit hard enough, they'll run. You know what I mean? Something. They won't stand there and say, damn, all right, that was a good shot. Come on. Like, fighters are crazy. You know what I mean? When you think about it, you got to get punched square in the face and you say, good shot. Like, even in fights, you know what I mean? Damn, that was a good shot. All right, come on. Try this. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. It's going to be a great one, though. It's going to be a great fight for sure.
It is, man. That will. And now I want to talk about the hot shot out of your hometown. I mean, this dude went slow motion for a second in a fight.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
I mean,
That was,
woof. I mean, from being in the ring. Sean, what's up, Sean? From being in the ring, you reach a level of like, I don't want to call it like, I don't know, like insanity or some shit. Like you being there so long, everything flowing, everything is going the way it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? It's almost like it put you in this world, like your own world.
Yeah.
So when he slowed the tape down, I think he just realized, all right, I got total control of this guy. You know what I mean? I got him doing everything I want him to do. You know what I mean? He moving how I want him to move. I know when he's going to move. Let me go ahead and pull this shit off. I think he just was running off of a high, like he was feeling good in there. You know what I mean? He just came out that way.
He was definitely feeling himself, absolutely, and he had every right to, because and at first I was like, that guy kind of reminded me slightly of Maidana. I don't know why, but he did.
Yeah.
But so I was a little concerned for Boots, just like, because I'm a fan of Boots. I want him to keep winning. So,
right.
But you saw pretty soon into that fight that like there was the class difference was big.
And it really, to be honest, everybody was looking at the trickery and the special effects, but really was just the jab, bro. He was beating him off his jab.
Is that what you?
I mean,
that's what you saw. The jab did it.
If you really watch the jab, he paced himself behind his jab. He slowed the man down with his jab. You know what I mean? And then once he picked up his time, and that's when you start seeing all the special shit. But it was really the jab setting everything up.
Yeah, I mean, his I didn't realize how defensively sound he is. I didn't realize that he had that footwork to kind of, he would do those jab steps and be able to spin. Yeah. I mean, you've probably seen all of that, right, in person. But,
yeah. Here's the thing, though. A lot of people in the gym, a lot of guys in the gym, they are afraid to express themselves. So you get these basic styles, but then once in a while you get a fighter who will try anything. And Boots is one of them guys. Like he like to try stuff. He like to work on stuff. You know what I mean? So if you show him something, if I'm talking about you, if you show Boots something and he like it, he'll go home and try it and try it and try it and try it until it's right. You know what I mean? Or he feel like it's right. You know what I mean? So when you see shit like that, that's shit that he just do because not because he just having fun and he playing around. It's shit that he really work on. You know what
Right,
I'm saying?
right.
You know what I mean? So
And
it's just
you think that right now he could take? He could. Do you think he could beat Spence or Crawford right now?
here's the thing, right? Everybody keeps saying Boots not fighting nobody, right? But if every time he fight, he win every round or he win like he just did, who are the somebodies? So he have to fight Spence or Bud, right? But here's the thing. I feel like if he beat them guys, then it's gonna be like, oh, they was too old.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
it's kind of like I don't even want to see him in there with them right now. Now that I'm thinking about it,
Really?
but if he did fight them, he has. What I'm saying is he has the tools and the mindset and the know how and the the work ethic to beat those guys. I just never seen him on that level, but I believe he can because he has what it takes. He has everything that you need as a fighter.
Have you seen him spar any like world champions or anything like that?
I think the most notable I seen him spar probably I don't know, man. It's been so many times I seen him in that ring. I don't know. He been in there with so many people, man. I don't know.
You can't think of anybody specifically.
Yeah,
Hmm. All right. I mean, it's like he should fight Virgil Ortiz. That'd be a good next one, right?
yeah, but Virgil can't make 47.
Is that what happened just now? I don't even know what happened
Yeah,
to him.
I don't know what's going on. Something up with his body. I think he trying to get too low.
Oh, I thought he had an infection. I didn't really pay attention to what it was.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is neither. To be honest, I'm tired of hearing about him and Stanionis because I think the game is doing Stanionis wrong, waiting on this guy.
So maybe Stanionis could fight Boots next.
That would be a perfect fight. I would love that fight.
And then Thurman, is that? I don't even know if that's. I
Well,
talked to Thurman today actually, but he didn't want to tell me.
they saying Thurman and Ugas is in August or September or some shit. So
Yeah, I talked to Thurman today, and I don't think it's signed yet.
uh,
So they didn't tell me. They were like, we got something, but we got to wait. And I'm like, all right, because Thurman is still dangerous. I don't care what people
yeah,
say.
Thurman. People don't want to respect Thurman, but you have to respect Thurman. He's only lost to Pacquiao, who's a Hall of Fame fighter. And Thurman, he knows the elite level. He knows what it's like to be top three. So you can't like treat him like he's not shit. You know what I mean? But at the same time, Thurman got to come on. He got to get it going because he can get stale too.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a lot of inactivity, but don't you think that at a certain point, inactivity is actually somewhat good for the body and resting?
Yeah, I think if you the type of guy who's pushed your body for as long as a lot of these guys have, yeah, inactivity is good, but then what happens is with the business of boxing, people start to forget about you. So
Right.
when you come back, they try to act like you're not worth what you once was.